Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. This video is all about Kethu transit in Libra during the period April 12, 2022 until November 18, 2023. So Kethu is the planet of spirituality. Kethu is the planet of disturbances and denials. Kethu is the planet of obstacles. Kethu is the planet of separation. Okay. Kethu is the planet of misunderstandings. It brings misunderstandings among the people. So I can say 10% spirituality growth and also the mindset. So this Kethu also brings the intellectual mindset. Okay. So Kethu is the most important planet that we need to refer because Kethu is a karmic planet, and if at all we have to see whether this person is intellectually sound enough, we have to see the placement of planet Kethu, because Kethu is more stronger than Mercury. A lot of people consider Mercury is the planet of intelligence, Mercury is the planet of creativity, but more than Mercury, Kethu placement is really very important. So Kethu's placement in Libra is considered as malefic in nature because the Libra, for the Zodiac sign, the lord of Libra is basically Venus, and Kethu doesn't go well with Venus, and Kethu becomes malefic in Libra. So this Kethu transit is happening in Libra from April 12, 2022, and it goes on until November 18, 2023. So this 1.5 year planetary period is a very important period because Kethu being a karmic planet, so it affects the mankind. Okay, so depending upon your zodiac sign, we need to understand about what Kethu is providing it to you. Okay, let me talk to you from the zodiac sign verse. Okay. So for Aries zodiac sign, Kethu is transiting in your 7th house of relationships, 7th house of business partners, business partnership, 7th house of business profits, 7th house of others. If Kethu is transiting in your 7th house, so that brings a lot of friction or disturbances, conflicts, misunderstandings with your business partners. And also your spouse will not be a great support during this point of time because there will be a lot of misunderstandings or conflicts during this point of time. That might also lead to separation. If Kethu is badly affected in your birth chart, especially a 7th house or a 1st house, so then definitely there will be some kind of misunderstandings or conflicts with your spouse. Okay, so if Kethu is transiting for Taurus zodiac sign, Kethu is transiting in your 6th house. Okay, 6th house of if you calculate from Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and Libra, so which will become a 6th house. Okay. So if Kethu is transiting in the 6th house for Taurus zodiac sign, so basically 6th house is litigation, 6th house talks about health issues, debts, obstacles, challenges. So Kethu in the 6th house works really well. This person can able to win over the challenges, win over the obstacles, win over the failures, win over the debts, win over the litigation as well. Because Kethu is a planet of litigation. So this planet is actually transiting in your 6th house, which is really good for you to overcome all this shortcomings in your life. And also there won't be any kind of shortage of money during this time. So obviously you'll be able to overcome the debts. You will be able to clear off your debts during this time. And for Gemini zodiac sign, Kethu is transiting in your 5th house of children, romance, 5th house of comforts, benefits, and fortune. So Kethu in the 5th house really not so well. So there'll be some sort of health issues. There'll be some kind of hard work. You need to put a lot of hard work during this time. Luck might not be really favored to you. Okay, Kethu is a planet of creating obstacles. So in your journey, there'll be a lot of obstacles in terms of educational pursuits. Also, you might put a lot of effort than previous time because Kethu is transiting in your 5th house. It's not really good for the competitive examinations. It's not really good for maintaining cordial relationships with your partners. And also Kethu is a planet of separation. Kethu is a planet of obstacles. So that's what first and foremost thing I've told you. So this karmic planet is coming up into your 5th house. You need to watch out all the 5th house parameters because that might not be really favorable to you. That might not be really served to you in a silver plate unless until Jupiter's, Venus, and Saturn's blessings are there. Kethu blessing is also very important for you to get easy success in your life. And if at all for Cancer zodiac sign, Kethu is transiting in your 4th house of litigation. 4th house of real estates, 4th house of vehicles, 4th house of relationship with your mother, health of your mother, your motherly figures in your life. Okay, Kethu in the 4th house transit might bring little bit of litigation in terms of your property issues, and if at all you are planning to sell your house, if at all you are planning to sell your land or something, so this is not a really right time for you because that might trigger litigation problems during this time. And Kethu in the 4th house transit is not really good for purchasing a vehicle as well, because Kethu is a karmic planet. It's not really bring a bliss or an abundance or a prosperity during this time. So you have to watch out the placement of planet Mars and Venus. If at all these two planets are supporting, then yeah, you can go ahead and purchase a vehicle. But if at all those two planets are sitting in the bad state, along with Kethu is sitting in the bad state in the birth chart, this is not the right time for you, because Kethu is transiting your 4th house, which is really not so good time for you. Okay, so you have to do little bit of Kethu remedies during this time. Okay, maybe you need to visit a Lord Shiva temple, do some kind of abhishek or a milk abhishek to Lord Shiva temple, or do some kind of charity on the name of to appease Kethu Lord. And also the meditation of course helps you. And if at all Kethu is transiting for Cancer zodiac sign, I have told you just now, and for Leo zodiac sign, it is transiting in the 3rd house. 3rd house of communication, 3rd house of siblings, 3rd house of networking, 3rd house of relationship with your siblings. So obviously Kethu in the 3rd house brings a lot of misunderstandings, conflicts with your siblings. 3rd house also talks about relatives. There will be some kind of friction or some kind of relationship problems with your relatives. And also there will be communication problems as well, because whatever you say, other person might consider it in the wrong way, and then there comes some misunderstandings, and which is very common in your life. It is generally happens because of karmic Kethu planet in your birth chart. So Kethu in the 3rd house is really not so good, okay, for Leo zodiac sign. And for Virgo zodiac sign, Kethu transit is happening the 2nd house of wealth, which represents tangible as well as intangible assets. And 2nd house also talks about your speech. 2nd house also talks about your family environment. So Kethu transiting in the 2nd house, it's not really good for acquiring wealth. Okay. See, Kethu is a planet of spirituality. It doesn't like materialistic pleasures, like even money, unless until Kethu is sitting in the 11th house, 5th house, and the 9th house might bring some kind of money. But a Kethu in the 2nd house might not be able to provide you good amount of financial profits. And in terms of your family environment also, there will be a little bit of denials and disturbances. Okay, so we are discussing about the karmic planet Kethu. Please remember that. Okay, in the introduction of the video itself, I have told you 90% of the stuff will be considered as little malefic because of Kethu nature, malefic nature, and 10% of course for spiritual pursuits is really good planet. And Kethu in the 2nd house also brings some kind of litigation problems with your own family members as well. We might have come across some of the family, in a family environment, the siblings, might file cases against each other, and they'll be keep running around the courts, and a lot of litigation problems. That generally happens if at all you have Kethu in the 2nd house, and which is in the malefic in nature. And of course, if Saturn and Rahu are also sitting in the bad state, then I don't think we need to even discuss about it. Okay, if Kethu is transiting in the Libra zodiac sign, then obviously you will be showing a lot of interest in terms of spirituality. You'll be learning about your own self. You'll be learning about your inner self. You'll be learning about, okay, what is the true purpose of your life. See, one more thing you need to understand about planet Kethu. Kethu makes you to think a lot. So during this time, irrespective of any zodiac sign the planet Kethu is sitting, irrespective of any zodiac sign for that matter, Kethu is transiting. So this brings a lot of efforts in terms of understanding about your own self, understanding about the true purpose of your life. You might be busy until this point of time, making a lot of money in terms of acquiring the properties, in terms of going to your foreign countries, in terms of exploring many things, and also enjoying the luxuries and all comforts and all that. When the Kethu transit happening, especially in your 1st house, you'll start thinking about what is my true purpose. Am I really doing something correctly? Is there something lack in my life? What is it? What is that I'm born for? What is my mission? What is my true purpose? What for I'm actually earning money? And what for I'm doing this career? What for I'm doing that? What for I'm doing this? So this kind of introspection will be there during this time, because Kethu is a planet of high intellectual power. Okay, I can put it that way. Kethu is a planet of high intellectual power. So if at all strong Kethu in your birth chart, especially Kethu goes really well in Leo zodiac sign, Cancer zodiac sign. Kethu goes well in Sagittarius, Pisces. Kethu also goes well in Scorpio as well as Aries. Kethu also goes well in Cancer zodiac sign, as I mentioned to you. But Kethu doesn't go well in Aquarius, Capricorn, and also Venus zodiac signs like Taurus and Libra. Kethu doesn't go well even with Mercury, that is Virgo as well as Gemini. If Kethu in the 6th, 8th and 12th house, really very good. Especially 12th house is even more very good. Okay. So that's about it. And of course, we are discussing about the transit, right? So let me talk to you about Scorpio zodiac sign. For Scorpio zodiac sign, Kethu is happening in the 12th house. So 12th house of litigation, 12th house of foreign settlements, 12th house of losses, expenses, and most importantly, spirituality. So if at all you are very spiritual, of course, Kethu will turns out to you to be spiritual, and how he turns out to be spiritual, that's individuals' birth chart has to be analyzed. Some people might undergo a lot of problems, and that's the reason they try to explore that higher power. Some people might just get an interest because of somebody referred a spirituality, and he will start exploring books related to spirituality. And a lot of people get interest on astrology as well, because astrology is more or less connected to spirituality. So that is generally happens if at all Kethu happens in the Kethu is transiting in your 12th house. And let's say for Sagittarius zodiac sign, Kethu transit is happening in the 11th house. 11th house of hopes and wishes, 11th house of achievement of your goals, 11th house of fulfillment of your desires, 11th house of fatherly figures, relationships, 11th house of wealth pursuits. So Kethu transiting in your 11th house brings tremendous amount of wealth. A lot of people says that Kethu doesn't like wealth because it's not a materialistic in nature. But let me tell you, Kethu in the 11th house also brings you very good amount of money. I've seen in many of the horoscopes in my research, so I can definitely say Kethu brings a lot of money. If at all, it transiting in your 5th, 9th and 11th houses. 5th and 9th houses, of course, it brings little bit amount of fortune, but 11th house is really good because 11th house is all about networking as well, so social skills. So if at all you want to maintain very good socially well, you need to be intellectually well as well. You need to be communicative. So that happens if Kethu is transiting in your 11th house. 11th house is also very good for exploring some pilgrimage. Okay, you'll be going to some places, some holy places. You'll be understanding about the importance of meditation, importance of charity, importance of doing some kind of service to humanity. All these things generally happens if Kethu is transiting in your 11th house. And for Capricorn zodiac sign, Kethu is transiting in your 10th house. 10th house of workplace politics, 10th house of social environment, 10th house of career growth, 10th house of bosses that you'll be getting. So unfortunately, Kethu in the 10th house is really not so good because that will create some kind of friction with your colleagues, your managers, your supervisors. You might have come across some people like professional harassment. All these things, bad things that you explore in a career environment can be seen from planet Kethu. Okay, and for Aquarius zodiac sign, Kethu is transiting in your 9th house, 9th house of long distance travel, 9th house of spirituality, 9th house of fatherly figures, relationships, 9th house of ancestral blessings, ancestral property gains. All these things generally happens if at all Kethu is transiting in your 9th house. Okay, Kethu's transit in the 9th house is really good. It brings a prosperity and abundance as well. And of course, we are talking about Kethu transit. And for Pisces zodiac sign, Kethu transit is happening in the 8th house. So 8th house of sudden ups and downs, 8th house of government support, 8th house of spirituality, 8th house of longevity, 8th house of policies which is determined by government, and also 8th house of support from the in-laws. So all these things will be really favorable for you if Kethu is transiting in your 8th house. Okay, there will be sudden growth if at all Kethu is really sitting in your natal chart as well. If say Kethu is sitting in the badly placed, if Kethu is badly placed, then obviously there will be a sudden downfall in your life. Okay, so to summarize, Kethu is basically a very good planet for exploring spirituality, intellectual abilities, and if at all people who want to get into research and development field, Kethu really works so well. Okay, so that's it about planet Kethu. I think we spoke nearly for 15 minutes. Thank you so much for watching this video. Across all the zodiac signs, I just gave a short summary on the prediction. But if at all you need my individual analysis for your own birth chart, which is concerned about which is pertinent, which will be prepared based on your date of birth, time of birth and place of birth, please write to us. Please book for an astrological consultation. The link is mentioned in the description section. Do book for an astrological consultation. Once I get a consultation order, I'll be able to help you with the complete analysis pertaining to your individual birth chart. Thank you so much for watching this video. If at all you need my astrological consultations, the link is mentioned in the description section. Do book for an astrological consultation. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.